Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Great Malabite Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Tudu. Draped in pink, undoubtedly.
You are sure this is pink? Not a shade of it.
And you are pulling up the men in the color of.
I do my best.
And they are complying. Well, good morning. We start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Buhari, under no circumstances will Anambra election be disrupted. Directs military, other security agencies to use overwhelming force if necessary to protect peaceful poll. Says non-state actors won't be allowed to disrupt electoral process. Nigerian forces kill Al-Banawi's successor 2 months after death of ISWAP's leader. Yes, yesterday, the president presided over the National Security Council meeting in Abuja. And we'll call it another riot act being read to the military. But this time, to Anambra State, they have to focus their attention in order to prevent any disruption of the November 6 governorship polls. My take on this is that, well, it's the duty of the police to be the lead provider of security when it comes to election matters. Of course, they can always call on the army and other branch of the military to assist and provide cover to ensure that policemen are the ones at the polling stations and not military men carrying rifles. But this in itself is a no-brainer, but given what has been happening in Anambra State, people attacking, shooting at rallies, you expect that the president will take that one notch up. But this should not be seen as a license for the military to also be overbearing. In past elections, we've seen where military men try to dictate who should be at the center for counting of results and who should not be there. Their roles should be well defined, provide cover so that no miscreant, no unknown gunman can go around Anambra State on election day. I think the mandate is clear, but we must also not see abuse. Now, if we look at the Guardian newspaper, also reporting about the Southeast. Southeast on lockdown. Jubilant mood as Kanu pleads not guilty. Ezife, Igbo leaders, Sowore journalists barred from court. Sit at home. Southeast in full compliance as schools, markets, banks remain shut. IPOB gives conditions to dialogue with federal government. We won't relent until Kanu detained IPOB members regain freedom, says Ohaneze. Explore dialogue, alternative resolutions to ease tension, federal government told. Heavy security in Asaba over Kanu's trial. Yes, yesterday the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra was brought to court to answer charges, amended charges, and his presence must have also doused some tension because up to now, ultimatum and warnings have been given if he is not seen in the court by his followers. And in fact, Ohaneze also spoke in that light. But he appeared in court yesterday, pleaded not guilty, and case adjourned. But a number of lawyers who have also come to solidarize with the defense team were not allowed to enter the court. Igbo leaders, led by former governor Ezefe, they were all stopped from entering the court premises, and they had to sit it out around the court premises as the trial went on. Now, other newspapers are reporting this story. The Punch newspaper, Nnamdi Kanu's trial, NBA, Ohaneze, others attack federal government as DSS bars lawyers, journalists. Banning lawyers, journalists, despicable. Court is a public place, the NBA is saying. Ohaneze demands federal government's apology over treatment of Igbo delegation. Now, the Vanguard newspaper also has this as its lead. Biafra, Kanu docked, pleads not guilty to federal government's amended charges. Says, I didn't commit any terrorism offense in Nigeria. Files motion to quash charge as court declines motion to move him to prison. DSS locks out journalists, others. Judge orders DSS to allow Kanu access to 3 visitors Mondays, Thursdays. Adjourned case to November 10. Our son committed no offense. Nnamdi Kanu's community tells federal government. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, also the same story. Amended terrorism charges, journalists barred as Kanu pleads not guilty. But below the photograph, PDP National Convention, PDP disqualifies Olafeso Oladepo, Mo Arrow for dragging party to court, committee screens 31. So those names are out of contest because according to the party, the PDP, they did not explore all the mechanism within the party to pursue their grounds. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, ISWAP, and Saru bomb rail track, ground Abuja-Kaduna services. We had a bang before train came to a standstill. Commuters, NRC to lose 19 million naira daily to service suspension. Federal government confirms killing of new ISWAP leader Bako. Now, this is another dangerous development where terrorists attacked the rail line and even attacked the coaches carrying passengers from Abuja to Kaduna. Of course, on News 90 yesterday, the editor of the Daily Nigerian was on our program yesterday where he said that, in fact, the military or the security agencies had the intelligence reports that these terrorists were planning to bomb the rail line. Of course, what they heard initially was that they were going to bomb a bridge in Kaduna, but it turned out that they bombed the railway line. But for the instruction already given to those who drive those coaches, that when something like that happened, they shouldn't stop immediately. The train was able to get over the bomb part of that rail and move for about 7 kilometers before it stopped. As it was going, they were sprayed with bullets, according to those who were inside that train. But this is a dangerous development. It tells you the level of insecurity. And come to think of it, people who commute between Kaduna and Abuja find the rail line as the safest option. Now they'll be compelled to go by road, which is a very dangerous proposition. We know that, the security agency know that also, but this is why government must do its job. Because when in 2017, the Abuja airport runway was under reconstruction, that road was made safe for the big wigs to travel to Kaduna to board flight. moments that work was completed, we didn't see that kind of security. So the lives of all Nigerians matter. Now that the train are not moving, at least for some time, the government must ensure that Nigerians who have to travel by road on the Kaduna-Abuja road must get security. They must be secured. We don't want to hear field day for bandits, terrorists, kidnappers who will now be picking commuters on that road. Now, if we look at the Daily Sun newspaper, of course, the familiar story, but we just look at the story beside the masthead. Guild of Editors lament rising insecurity as kidnappers target oil workers. Of course, the conference of the Guild of Editors yesterday focusing on the security situation in the country. Now, the Leadership newspaper, same story, attacks on train track ground Abuja-Kaduna rail operation. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, Lagos airport scandal. Passengers refuse to pay PCR test fee into private account. Asks EFCC to probe NCDC officials fleecing federal government with COVID-19. Lagos government urges patience, promises to investigate claim. Another scandal brewing there. Now, the Business Day newspaper, how Lume, Tema, that's Tema in Ghana, Abidjan ports are eating Nigeria's lunch. Nigeria's Apapa port has lost its pride of place to ports in other neighboring West African countries of Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, and the Benin Republic. Business Day findings. Of course, these countries have modernized their ports, management system through investment. Yet our port in Nigeria still operating the old way with congestion and, of course, the other shenanigans happening at our ports, causing importers and exporters a lot of headache. You will know a lot about that. Now, the New York Times, we just go straight to the New York Times. Reports lay out climate threat to U.S. security. Agencies give warning. Grim effects of warming on economy, military, and migration. Yes, the Biden administration released several reports on Thursday about climate, about climate change and national security, laying out in stark terms the ways in which the warming world is beginning to significantly challenge stability. Now, of course, the impact, worsening conflicts, and within and between nations, amongst others. Yes.
Emmanuel Efene, we seem to have run out of time, so it remains for us to just thank you. Those ports in Ghana, Togo, and the Republic of Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire that are eating Nigeria's lunch. I hope they will not add their breakfast and dinner to it. That's for us.
Amen.
It's for us to chew on and work on it.
And as for the president saying that, security agencies should use overwhelming force, if possible, in Anambra on November 6th. I hope that those security agents will not be overzealous. Because even if an official directive does not give them the permission to break the law and, go beyond the bounds of their mandate. Thank you very much, Emmanuel.